Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm extra excited today because I built in Selvadorada and this is a first. I don't think I've ever built anything in this world, and I know for sure that I've never built anything on this lot. This is the 64 by 64 lot in Selvadorada, and this world is part of Jungle Adventure, the Jungle Adventure game pack. It's a vacation world, and I just wanted to try something new and different, so it was time to work on a jungle themed build, and I had so much fun to build this. So there's kind of a backstory. So as many builders, or almost all builders, I really like to take a look at Pinterest, and most of the time I only do it to inspire myself, so I don't recreate a build that I see. I feel just inspired, and I just take a look at all these builds, and I feel like I've seen every single mention on Pinterest at this point. Like, it's always the same most of the time, and I always stumbled upon one image over and over again, and it's like some type of treehouse build. And I've saved this picture so many times on my phone. Then I got a new phone and I saved it on my computer. I saved it multiple times, and I always wanted to recreate this one. Like, I wanted this to be some type of recreation, but I never did. But now it's finally time, and I'm going to show you the picture here so you see my inspiration. And I really wanted to have this type of layout, but I wanted to have a different style because I wanted this to be really jungle themed. And the main issue here was how to connect all these different rooms, because we can only build up to 4 levels. So I really had to figure something out and how to connect everything. This was a huge adventure, a huge jungle adventure. So I had so much fun building this, and I'm going to explain you what I did here, how I did it, why I did it. So let's see what's going on here. So this build consists out of different rooms, and each room is one hotel room. So I built this in Selvadorada. As I said, it's a vacation world, so the lot type is a rental lot. You could also place this in any other world, so it's like a residential lot. But the way I built this, it's truly a rental lot to go on vacation. When I created builds in Granite Falls, for example, these were usual mansions. You could just place them anywhere and use them as a proper mansion, as a residential lot. But this build here is really different. This is a proper rental lot in my opinion. So each room, like at the bottom down there, this is one room, for example. Each room is just a hotel room, including a bed and a bathroom. One room has multiple beds and a kitchen. So this is just a place to stay when you go on vacation. And later on, I'm going to build another room, which isn't part of the main reference, just in the back. I kind of hid it because I didn't want it to be visible. This room will be some type of community room. There will be one big kitchen, multiple dining tables, so just a space to really hang out and to have dinner and all that, because these rooms are relatively small and I didn't have enough space to build a kitchen inside each hotel room. And you could just rent this lot and you could just have the vacation of your lifetime in Selvadorada. And I really like that this is different, the style is different, and also the whole idea behind the lot, because as I said, I usually really like to build mansions, so this one is a bit different. Here at this point, I have already created 2 rooms, and here you can see how I'm using a debug object. I wanted this to look like a tree house. I used the terrain tools and I placed so many trees around it. You already saw this in the very beginning. So I really wanted this to make sense. So I decided to place these debug objects below my room, so there would be something supporting them, so it looks more like a tree house. And I landscaped so much. Here I'm already starting to landscape a bit. I wanted this to be super green, and actually this is like the second version of a jungle build. Before this, I built a completely different build on a smaller lot. I think it was a 30 by 20 lot or something, and I just hated it. Like, I was done. I looked at it and I was like, no, it's not looking good. Like, I was completely done. I mean, it was a quick build, but I didn't like it. And then I thought, okay, maybe it's time to finally recreate this tree house and to make it look fabulous. And I'm so happy that I did, because I really didn't like the other one, especially in comparison. So I used lots of debug objects. Here, for example, this is a base game wood plank. Sadie really likes to use it, and she just does the most amazing things with this object. I've talked about this before in a speed build, and here I just wanted to use it to create some stairs. At first, I only wanted them to be decorative, so it would just look good, because I figured a fun, really over-the-top tree house needs some stairs. I really wanted to connect everything using stairs, but then I really wanted them to be functional. At first I wanted to add some ladders, but I'm kind of scared to use ladders after the last incident. Some of you might remember this. I couldn't upload my build to the gallery for a day until I fixed it. I don't know, this is just, I don't like to use ladders anymore. I have to be honest. So I eventually, as you will later see, decided to just build some stairs below these wood planks. So the cool thing is they don't have a footprint. Your Sims can walk right through them, so you can just place anything inside them. So I just hid some stairs below these wood planks, and your Sims will simply take the stairs below these decorative stairs. This way it's functional and it also looks fabulous. It looks a bit weird because your Sims are literally walking into the wood planks as if they weren't there, but it's functional and it's fun. Or just look away when they walk up, I don't know. But I think it's pretty fabulous. I just love this look. This took a while. I didn't use the Truma to create the stairs. I simply placed my wood planks. I mean, I think I used Tool to duplicate them because I'm lazy when I'm building. But I just rotated them holding down Alt and the left mouse button. And then I raised each wood plank by pressing 9 on my keyboard. And it took a while, just rotating them and raising them up, finding the correct position. But I definitely used Tool to create these houses, like the exterior of these rooms are small houses. I used the same wood plank and I rotated some of them. I wanted to have a fancy roofing. I just wanted to make this look more interesting and wooden, so it looks more jungle themed, and I figured in combination with some plants it would look really good. When you look at the original reference, it looks really modern, almost Scandinavian. I don't even know if this is real or a render. Like nowadays it's really hard to tell. Also, when you look at some really beautiful interior pictures, a lot of them are just renders, and it's like absolutely, it's just wow how good these renders are. I've also heard, I think it was the Finding Dory movie, like back then they really struggled to animate water, like in general. This was like really difficult. And then when Finding Dory came out, they animated the water and it looked so good, so real, that you couldn't tell a difference from real water. And they actually told them that it looks too real, that it's not suitable for a animated film like this, and they had to like change it to make it worse technically, so it doesn't look as real. And this just blew my mind when you just think back to the first Toy Story movie or something. They, like in Toy Story, you only see the mom of the kid, you never see the dad, and the reason was that it would have been too expensive and difficult to animate another human. And like when you just think back to these things, how great animation in any type of render has become, it's just mind-blowing, and it's just wow. So here at this point I added more rooms. So I followed the reference. I did my own thing when it came to parts of the roofing, the balconies, and just generally the whole jungle idea and the plants, the landscaping. But I tried to have a quite similar composition when it just comes to the placement of the different rooms. And as I said, the problem is that you can only use up to 4 stories, like we can't build higher. So some of the rooms aren't connected to the rest of the build basically. Like the one on the bottom left, for example, this one was supposed to be a bit lower or higher. I don't even remember, I can't see now, but like this is like on a different height than the room right next to it, so I simply untethered it from the rest of the build, and this way it works. The only issue is when you build something above, like a floor or a roof, you can't expand it above the section, because then it's like conflicting block clusters, and oh my god, everything is just so confusing. I just really wish that we could build anything on any floor. Like, I'm really grateful for the foundation update that we got, and then we got the platforms, all these things, really great. But these conflicting block clusters and these limitations are what I would really love to be gone from build mode. Like more liberties, more options for this kind of stuff. But there are always some fun workarounds, so I did that here. And here I just built some more stairs. And here I think you can see that there are some stairs below, or maybe I'm about to place them, but I did the same thing. I just built this decorative stair using the base game debug wood plank, and then I built stairs below, so you can't really see them. I mean, you could see them if you wanted to, but it's not really directly visible. It's not like in your face, hey, here's a stair below the stairs. You can't really tell, and it's functional. And then I built a floating room because, as I said, you can only build 4 stories max, so I had to use a little workaround for this, and I built a room at the very bottom, and then I built a floor piece on top. I deleted the room, then I clicked on my floor piece and I moved it up by clicking on the arrow, and this way I was able to create my floating room. So this isn't connected to the rest of the build. Technically it was built at the very bottom. This is why it's only visible, like the interior, when you are on the bottom, like when you select the room and the story. So this is a bit confusing, but this was my little workaround for this. And this is the last room of the main composition. As I've said earlier, I decided to build another room, the community room, that I hid, but this was like the last room of the main composition, so it looks like the reference picture. And then it was time to landscape a lot. I used a lot of debug rocks. These debug rocks are also from the Jungle Adventure pack, because I mean, I wanted this to look like a proper jungle build, so I had to use these rocks, of course. Here you can see that they have a reddish color, and at first I used these rocks all around the build. Here I'm also raising the terrain a bit just to landscape and to make it work, but later on I decided to change the rocks. I used identical rocks in a different swatch, because the main colors of the build are pretty warm toned when you look at the wood plank, the stairs that I've built using them and all that. And then when I took a look at the finished build, I noticed that you can't really tell where the build ends and where the landscaping starts. It looked dissimilar. I wanted to have a contrast to the background, so I changed the rock color, and then I just really loved how it looked eventually. And you can already see here that I placed a lot of them, so it was a lot of work, because eventually I ended up removing all of them and replacing them, because it's a debug rock, so you can't just change the color by clicking on the rock. So I had to delete all of them, and I had to redo the whole landscaping, essentially, at least the rocks. I didn't include this. Later on at some point they would just change their color, because I thought, why should I include me doing it the second time around, just doing the same thing, just with a different rock color. Here you can see that the color changed, and I think it looks much better, also more like a jungle build. And the trees around the build are also mostly debug trees. There's so many wonderful plants and trees in the Jungle Adventure debug. And I also had to change their position quite a bit, because when I finally started to furnish, I noticed that some of them are kind of glitching into the room. So I had to change their position so it would all work. And here I'm just building some stairs, some regular stairs to connect everything. I playtested this. All levels are connected, so your sim can walk onto the lot and they can reach each and every single room, including the one at the very top, so it's completely functional. At first, while I was building this, I was afraid that it wouldn't work out, because sometimes when I work on quite complex builds, at some point you realize that it's like really difficult to make it work and to connect everything. It just looks good, but then you realize that you kind of have to make it work. But luckily it all made sense here. Like from the very beginning, it was really easy to connect it all. And here I'm starting to furnish, and this is, as I said, like a hotel room, so it's like a cabin. Each little room is like a small cabin. There is a bathroom. Here I built the tub inside the room. You see this in very fancy hotel rooms, so I don't know, for a honeymoon or just in general, there is no privacy needed. This is a room for a couple, for example, or some could live or stay in this room on their own, alone, for example. So privacy is not an issue here. This is like a really fancy cabin or hotel room, and then I built the main bathroom in a separate room, so there's a proper bathroom, but I just wanted to have this tub on the platform, and I used lots of stuff from Island Living as well. I didn't want this to turn into an Island Living build, but I figured both packs would be really good to have this type of style. The rugs are mainly from the Jungle Adventure pack, and I then just furnished all the rooms, and they all have a similar style because of the main theme, but they are all quite different still. Like here, for example, I used a bunk bed from the base game, and then I just separated this area a little bit, and then I built just a regular bed on this side of the room. This is like a family room for a vacation where everyone can just stay in one room. You also see this a lot in some hotels and stuff, so I just wanted to have a family room, and I also included a tiny kitchen in this. So this is like really like a proper cabin where you could stay, where you could also go to the PC and do some office stuff if you have to, I don't know, just a PC, and then a small kitchen to have some breakfast. So this is like really different from the other rooms. This is like a place where you could also have breakfast together. All the other rooms are different, and you have to go to the community room that I mentioned earlier, where you could just eat some food, prepare some food. So this is different, but this here is like the family vacation room, I guess you could say. So this one is really different. And now it's finally time to announce the winners of my giveaway. We celebrated 1 million downloads from my Sims 4 gallery. Thank you so much to all of you again for your support. I still can't believe it. This number is just unbelievable. And there are 3 winners, and the prize is a Sims 4 pack of your choice for PC. So a stuff pack, game pack, or expansion pack. It's up to you. It's your choice. And I hosted the giveaway on Gleam, so I have the winners' email addresses. So I'm going to contact the winners via email, so make sure to check your emails. And I'm going to just name the first names here because I don't want to give away any personal information. So you should definitely check your emails if this is like your first name. So the winners are Christina, Vanessa, and Tanza. Make sure to check your emails, and congrats to the winners. And I'm going to contact you via email, and then you can let me know which pack you want, and then I'm going to send you the key. And I'm just so excited. Congrats. And also, the giveaway is over, and the share challenge is also over. And in a couple of weeks, I'm going to release the video where I'm going to show you my favorites. So in case you're wondering what's going on, the challenge is over. So many entries. I'm really excited about that. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you to anyone who participated in the giveaway and in the share challenge. And there will be another giveaway soon, I'm sure. So don't be sad if you haven't won, and check your emails. And I love you all so much. And here I'm working on the so-called community room. I used these round tables from Jungle Adventure. I just wanted this to look like a community room where you would also be able to do different activities, so you could spend some time together, as you can see here. And yeah, that's it. Here you can see lots of screenshots of this build. And now it's also time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons. Thank you all so much. Of course, also thank you to all my other Patreons. I love you all so much. Thank you to anyone who supports me in general, who watches my videos, who likes my videos, who shares them, just anything. Thank you so much. I love you all so much equally, and I equally appreciate all your support. You are just the best. A big thank you to my Emerald patrons: Britta1607, Charlotte, Molly, Queen Ewing, Shannon McClam, Sim Sadie, Tilena Lynn, and Victoria Smithies. Thank you so much. I love you. And thank you for watching this video, because this video is ending. You can see all these screenshots here. You can find this build in the gallery. You can find my ID and the lot name in the description box, so you can go grab this build from the gallery and let your Sims go on a really fancy vacation in Selvadorada if you want to. And I hope you enjoyed this. I've recently tried to spice it up to make it more interesting to try different things, new things, not just mansions all the time. I hope you like it. Let me know if you have any requests, anything fancy, fun, and different. I really enjoy to work on these different builds nowadays, like the apartment build or this tree house or smaller builds. It's just so much fun, and I hope you like it. So I wish you a wonderful, perfect day. I hope you're all doing well, and I love you so much. Bye bye.